Good evening, my good people. Welcome to the Monday edition of the Blitz Pickup. This is the last Blitz Pickup episode without any football. As you can see, the veterans they report coming up this Tuesday, I believe. Yeah, they tomorrow. I guess tomorrow they report. So we will have training camp. So there you go. We some semblance of football. Also, they dropped the list. PFF dropped the list of roster rankings, and the Miami Dolphins came in at a whopping 24. We will be getting into that. I will be giving my thoughts on that. Last but not least, sorry, is Chris Grier good enough to not be good enough? I know it's been people like me and my co-host Lou. We always come up with that saying for Tua, saying he's good enough to not be good enough, and that's a dangerous territory to be in. So we gonna see if Chris Greer is along the same lines of that. But listen. First of all, shout out to my boy Lou. Lou is on vacation, as y'all know. Jess is outside. She says she will be. She says she gonna be popping up late, but she's outside as usual. She taking the outside like Lou said, literal, too literal. But listen, man, shout out to my people already in the building. I see some of y'all came in pretty early. True fan. He said, I believe Grier is good enough to be better. For me, it's number one, the players. Number two, the head coach. Number three, staying healthy. No particular order. So you just said 1, 2, and 3, true fan. Sean, I see you in the building. My brother Lou just tone. Hope all is well. I may have to watch the replay. Hey, listen, appreciate you coming through. I hope you hit that like button. Raphael Cartwright, YouTube thumb one, I don't know what that is. Hit the like button when entering the Blitz Pickup. That's a fact. Shake Money, I see you. Shake Money, say fins up, hit the like button. Lou dropped the eye emoji. Lou, what's up? Enjoy your vacation, man. Enjoy Jamaica, my brother. Enjoy it. Take your time off. Don't worry about it over here. I got you. I'm holding it down. Scott Jackson, I see you in the building. Vonjo, shout out to you, Vonjo. I'm gonna tell the people what you text me, Vonjo. I am gonna tell them. I'm just here to say hit the like button if you have AAA service and use it. Yo, hey Vonjo, hold on. Listen. Let me tell y'all something. Since Vonjo want to start early, right? I'm sorry, bro. If you use AAA to change your own tire, I can't do it. It's not me. I get it. Maybe some of y'all want to do that, but no, bro. I grew up a little different. I'm not I am not calling no one to come change my tire when I can change my own tire. I don't care if it's two. I know how to change two tires. That's what they have a jack, and that's what they have to spare tire. Spare tire for. Grumpy, I see you in the building. Hey, Vonjo, listen. Just by me saying, I don't know. I don't want you to take that as me calling you soft, because earlier in the space it was a little wild what spaceship was spewing out there. Dre, stop it, please. We have a tour. We know that. How is tour good enough, Dre? I need to ask you that. Football is back, man. But shout out to y'all. I see y'all in the building already. Max, Sean, I see you in there. He said, Pablo Diaz, triple A. Triple A is less than triple OG from Dade County. Those are facts, Pablo Diaz. Triple A is less than the triple OG from Dade County. No, man. Like, for real. We're not doing that. But listen, man, without further ado, let me get into the show real quick. First thing first, training camp preview. As we all know, the veterans will report, right? And I initially came on and I wanted to give my I had this list already predetermined, but I gotta switch it up a little bit. I was going to give up the rookies that I want to watch for, and also just who I'm watching for in general, as far as just the whole team. Now, with the latest news that came out a couple of days ago with Jonas Savaiinai, I was going to be watching for him regardless of what. But now that he got that fully guaranteed, the pressure is on you now, my brother, because it's the offensive line. We all know, us as fans, what we've been complaining about this whole time. We've been complaining about the offensive line, and now they just fully guaranteed Jonah, right? So yes, I get it. So for everyone to know, we know Lewis had an amazing rant. We already know how he was gonna feel. I was more down the middle, but I was leaning towards the owners standing their ground and not giving them that fully guaranteed. It's just the last the fourth year. Uh, hold on. I knew my boy was gonna pop in and shoot. Hey, it's nice to see Alex fill in while Lewis is. Oh, wait a minute. Shout out to you, shout out to you, Game Boy 305. You already know, man. I know you was coming in here with the smoke. Mike Best, I see you in there too, man. Shout out to you. But listen, yes, like I was saying, Jonah. I mean, I was on the lines of hoping that our owners stand firm because that's a little bit more pressure on Jonah. If y'all want to really be honest be honest with yourselves, now Jonah has a lot of pressure on him now for a rookie because now all the rookies coming in, first of all the second rounders that coming in here and they don't want to accept the contract how we've been usually the league has been used to giving them out, and they still firm. A lot of them still firm, and they got them fully guaranteed contracts. Now we fully expect you guys to perform. Now y'all have to perform, and y'all have to perform at a high level. So y'all have to come in and contribute right away. There's no learning curve. There's no waiting behind another guy and learning the game of football. No, you came in demanding guaranteed contracts. So I hope that y'all understand that that means that y'all going to be fully expected to make a major impact because that's what's going on nowadays, especially from our standpoint because offensive line has been our biggest issue. Outside, listen, no, I'm not going to say that. Our quarterback been our biggest issue, but the majority of the fan base has been complaining about our offensive line. That's what they've been complaining about, right? So now you add on to that. Now we just fully guaranteed Jonah, and yes, they invested draft capital. I get it. When you invest draft capital on someone, you expect them to be in the building. So I guess that's what's going on. I guess that's what's happening. So hey, let's see. We got 2 days. Well, we got tomorrow. We're gonna see how they look. I'm not really gonna be looking for too much until they put the pads on. Once the pads go on, that's when the real evaluation starts. Because the first two is going to be the first two is going to be first couple of is going to be shirts and pads. Pete, Paul, listen, he said, tell me you carry 2 spare tires. No, I did. Yo, y'all not gonna let that go, are y'all? He said, Mike Best says false. Quarterback, best thing we got going for us. That's cap. Mike Best, who was the best player on the team last year? Quarterback or running back? Actually, I got a quarter. Oh, I see. See, I was waiting for you to get in here, Trey. I got a question for the chat. Who is the best unit do we have? Is the running back our best unit on the team? What unit do y'all think is the best unit that we got coming into training camp? Trey, salute. I see you, Trey. I know we had I couldn't go back and forth. I was working, bro. But I just want to let you know that at one point, standing firm that the players deserve to get paid and they deserve fully guaranteed contracts. But when it come to the one more boy name from for the Cincinnati, you saying that the owners might be right, bro. I don't get that. You do understand it, that if you think that the owners are might be right, then all the guys that got the fully guaranteed, if anything happened to them, they're not getting their money back. They're still getting paid, my brother. It's the same situation. I hope you do understand that. Like, they're not going to give that money back. So to say that the owners are right on the Cincinnati and not understand that, bro, no one has that kind of stuff in the contract. You're not going to set the precedent for me that way, put some crazy things in the contract. No, I stand with, on that side, I stand with the player right there. Game Boy 305 said 2 tire tone. Listen, 2 phone tone, 2 tire tone, 7 toe tone, whatever y'all want to call me. Just keep the nicknames coming. This is a fact. The Blitz pickup best department is HR. Apparently, that is a fact. That is a fact. Pablo Diaz said D line is our best unit. Wait, you said D line or running back or wide receiver? Come on, Pablo, you gotta pick one, my brother. Which one do y'all think is our best unit? I believe, me personally, I believe our running back unit would be the best unit coming in. Now I know most people, if most people, they should say defensive line, because that would be the best unit based on the people that we have on the roster. So I would edge the defensive line, but I think if when it's all said and done, the running back unit is going to be the best unit on this team, and that's just going into camp, But I believe I'm putting my money on the running backs. No AAA Tone A. That's a fact. Burt Glove Tone. Hey, I like the nicknames. Keep the nicknames coming. The loser fan. You saying our wide receiver core or your wide receiver core? Let me know. Kenna said D line. Cap for life. You said O line is going to be the best unit. Okay. Yeah, I see O line. O line is wild. O line is wild. But listen. So let me get into the positional groups that the rookies that I'm watching for. So the first thing is obviously Jonah. I already explained that. So I want y'all to remember this. No Teron. Austin Jackson coming back off of injury. A rookie in Jonah. James Daniel coming off injury. And the only one that's fully healthy that played well last year is Brewer. That's what we have on our offensive line. Brewer. That's the stability right there. One stable piece right there is Aaron Brewer. So if you think the offensive line is going to be the best unit, what metric are you going by? Well, I would like to know, because the offensive line has become one of the biggest questions for me now. It became one of the biggest questions for me, which is why Jonah is the number one on my list that I'm paying attention to when it comes to rookie. Second is Marshall. What is his name? Oh no, I have wrote his name down. Jason Marshall. Jason Marshall, the cornerback out of Florida. Too many people haven't been talking about him. I'm gonna see if he works his way into the rotation. I'm not gonna say a starting position, but I want to see if he works his way into the rotation when it comes to the DB unit, because as you know, we're gonna use a lot of DBs. We are. Sometimes you have 5 DBs on the field at once, and I want to see if our rookie makes his way on into that rotation. I think safety, pretty much. Now that we hold on. Yeah, I'm glad I said that. What do y'all? This is a side note, y'all. Side note. What do y'all think about? We haven't heard nothing from Fitzpatrick. Mika, we have heard nothing. It's been dead silent. Should we be worried about that? Should we? I want y'all to think about that. Ask yourself that question. Should we be worried about? We have heard nothing from him. But yeah. So Brandon Marshall, I'm looking forward to see if he works his way into the rotation. Also, Kenneth Grant, our first overall. And Javier said, man ain't into social media. I get it, but they didn't want no press conference. There wasn't anything. But hey, let's see. But yes, Kenneth Grant, obviously our first overall pick, 13 overall. Everyone should be looking forward to him, to seeing his how he affect the game. Seeing him next to Zach Sealer would be something to look forward to. Now, I want to see the battle between him and Jonah. I wanted to see the battle before, but now that he's fully guaranteed, I want to see. I think they should. The first fight should be them two. If this team gonna walk it like they talk it, I think those two should be the first one to get in the fights. They two rookies. They fighting for the job, and they here to set the tone. I want them to set the tone. First fight, and it got to be the first training camp. I want to fight first training camp. If they don't fight first training camp, I'm already saying, no, they're not changing the culture. They're not standing on what they believe in. If I don't see a fight, first practice, no, let me change that. Hold on. Let me change that. First full gear practice. If it isn't a fight in the first full gear practice, when the pass are on, nah, same old Dolphins. Miss me with that. It's gonna be, y'all don't understand. That's mentality. When we go into the training camp, the mentality. I've been saying this for 3 years now. This is my third straight year saying the most thing I'm looking forward to is when the first fight is going to happen. Because that lets you know that mentally they're there and they understand the competition level. Because you cannot be soft and not go full speed in practice and think that that's going to translate to the field. It isn't. It's not going to translate in the game. You have to practice the way you want to play. When I was growing up, they always said practice make perfect. This is what it was. They say practice make perfect. And I was like, you know what? That is true. But when I was playing basketball, and my coach Frank Martin, I was playing point guard, right? And he said, everyone say practice make perfect. He said, no, perfect practice makes perfect. So you should strive to be perfect in practice. And that's how you get as close to practice, as perfect as you can. No one's going to be perfect, but you can strive to be perfect. What we got? What do you say? RP Theo. What's Theo? He say, I am not going to worry about Mika. If he's not at camp, then I am worried. Okay. He say, I've been waiting for that fight also, Tony. My third year going also, for sure. Linda Jackson said, hi, Tony H. I enjoy watching the Blitz Pickup channel. You are doing a great job tonight. Appreciate you, Linda Jackson. Mystic says practice. We're talking about practice. Yes, sir. We don't have Allen Iversons walking around in this locker room. One thing we knew about Allen Iverson, he was going to give 1,000% when he got on that court. He earned the right to say that. He did. I'm sorry, but yes. Nah, we doing that. It said, Lou, what's up? Lou, enjoy your vacation, my boy. He said the first fight should be Grier versus the first fan he see at training camp. Hey, Lou say the first fight should be Grier versus the first fan he sees at training camp. Lou, we can't have Grier out here fighting the fans, my boy. No, bro. Hey, if Grier pop off on the fans, I think we going 14-3. I'm telling you, if Christopher Grier pop off on the fan, we're going 14-3. These are facts. He say, "What's up, Tony and fam? What's good with y'all?" What do we see first? Mika Smile in a Dolphins uniform or Alex? Mika Smile. He said, "I need that hat." Mystic said, "I need that hat." Mystic, Triple S podcast. What's good, Triple S? I see you, man. What's good with you? But yeah, so that's what I'm looking for in the rookies. I'm looking to see if Brandon Marshall could work his way into that DB rotation. Also, Kenneth Grant and Jonah. I want them to be the first fight. Full gear. I'm gonna give y'all to the full gear, right? This is a disclaimer. I personally, every season I go to every training camp. I don't miss a practice. Unfortunately, your boy will be in Europe for the last 2 weeks of training camp. So I'm only going to be able to watch the first ones. And so that's why I got to see that fight before I head to Europe. I don't want to be in Europe worried about my team and trying to figure out whether we tough or not. I don't. I'm trying to enjoy myself in Europe. Fun fact, I still will be on the show. It's just I'm gonna be on vacation, so I don't have to worry about no more the behind the scenes and things of that nature. The team will be handling all that. So yes, I will be officially on vacation in Europe, but I'll be there. I'll be here. You know what I'm saying? I can't leave my people hanging. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But yes, so that's what I'm looking for in the rookies. Most definitely, I'm looking for that. Players, just regular players, right? He said, well, I'm the one here right now. Wait, my bad. I'm the one here right now, so it's my chat. Right now, when I'm here, this is my chat. Ain't no who representing for y'all. I'm doing the chat. I'm doing the show. I'm representing for all y'all. Someone tell my co-host up there to send me a link. Sorry. Oh, I got you, Jess. My bad. You see, I was trying. You don't tell the people why I'm on here by myself. You know what I mean? I got you. I'm about to handle that right now. Let's see. Give me a second, y'all. Let me hit Jess with this link real quick. But yeah, while I'm doing that, yes, I am also looking for the first thing I'm looking for outside of the rookies is Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb. Coming off injury, both of them, they're coming off injuries, right? So I want to know, are they going to be healthy? Are they going to come back fully healthy and ready to participate? I'm really trying to let me see. I'm sorry. Let me get back over here. Whoa. Oh, my bad. Oh, Jess said hi, my chat. Wow, Jess, that's what you doing? Yeah, I should have never sent her the league. Dolphin Dawn. Hey, listen, Tone said his shoulders are top of carrying the show. Nah, shout out to my coach. I would talk trash, but I'm not doing that. Shout out to all my coach. Wait. He said, damn, don't cut out Jess. That's wow. Hey, Lou, you ain't here, so I get to run rapid around here. I get, you know what I'm saying? I get to be selfish. The DEI hire took a PTO day. Yo, Jay, you be on one. But yes, listen, the first thing, listen, what I'm looking forward to, y'all, shout out to y'all, man. We got the best chat in the building. But I am looking forward to Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips. Our edge. We said we want our defensive line. A couple of y'all said the defensive line should be the best unit. And we look like we're gonna be dependent and relying on that front seven to help out that back four, right? So you know what that comes with? That comes with a healthy Jalen Phillips and a healthy Bradley Chubb. If those two guys aren't healthy and they can't give you 100%, what do we have behind those guys? You got Chop, right? Chop did, you know, I was real tough on Chop at the beginning of the season. He did do a little bit better towards the end of the season, start to come along. So I'll give him credit when credit is due. That Los Angeles Rams game, he had his best game. Now, that one, he was disruptive. You hear me? That's what I call being disruptive. That's what I call your pressure meaning something. All that pressure rate, and he got the most pressures. I want to see if those pressure affect the quarterback. Does it affect the play, affect the game, right? And when he played in LA Rams, that's what I was talking about with pressure. That's the type of pressure that if you don't get there, you get the quarterback off his mark. Plus, I saw him he got triple teamed in that game, which led the way. Two of his pressures led to a Zach Sealer, and the other one was the safety. I forgot, sack. Two of his pressures did that. So I personally, you know what I'm saying, would say that is the type of pressure that I want. You ready? All right. Yo.
Hey, I just wanted to join in to kind of corrupt.
First of all, hold on. Showing up with a Phillies. Hey, chat, what we doing, bro? We gonna let her show up with a Phillies outfit on?
I'm at the game. I'm busy right now, you know. Do you see my name on here today? Keep the name. PTO Jess.
PTO Jess is in the building, y'all. Yo, what's good with you, Jess? What's good,
I'm chilling. Man? I'm with my kiddos, my kids. We at the game today. There's another one.
Hey, Jess. They said, right? I was saying what unit they think is going to be the best coming into this season. They said the Blitz pickup HR department is the best unit from us. What do you agree with that? You got the HR is the best unit.
I'm not agreeing with nothing. I ain't agreeing with nothing.
So you said HR is not our best unit? That's what you saying? Jess has officially used up all of her PTO. That is a fact. Your PTO is done. You have no more PTO. There is only one
I might have 2 more days in the system. You should be lucky. I'm going to another game. Woo! Sorry.
Hey, man.
Another game, going to another game, but it's on a day that we don't have a show. And then, like my other PTO days, I don't need it for show days. I just want to, make sure that HR knew, that's why I can't agree. HR can't, I don't know. I mean, my HR is the best. Shout out to my HR.
That's what they said, our HR. They said our HR.
Our HR.
Yes.
Oh, okay, our HR is the best. Yeah, shout out to HR.
Shout out
to the producer in the back.
Shout out to the HR department. Hey, yo, man. Hey,
shout out to HR.
Game Boy 305 say this is the only time the Phillies look good this season. Tyrone,
I'm out.
F the Phillies. We gonna get you out there with Tyrone Hall. He said F Phillies. I appreciate you. Yo, chat. This is my chat now. I'm taking over. Shout out to that's crazy. Jessica show up on her time off, man. This is crazy. He say, Shake Money say how? Well, I guess he mean how many hours of PTO does Alex have? That boy is in infinity, infinite numbers. So yes, back to regular scheduled programming. So yes, the front seven, right, guys, they have to be disruptive this season. Like I said, I was in the process of giving Chop Robinson his credit for the way he played in the Rams game. Yo, if we could get that Chop Robinson, trust me, I'm gonna be more. I'm not gonna say lenient, but I'm not gonna be as disappointed as I am now that we chose Chop over um Brian Thomas Jr. BTJ, right? I prefer we went Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr. put on, but if Chop could be disruptive, and for the record, just because I didn't want him doesn't mean I don't want him to perform. I need him to prove all us wrong, especially me. Prove me wrong and show me that you're worth the pick over Brian Thomas Jr. Right now, it's Brian Thomas Jr. 1, Chop Robinson 0. So I'm sorry to tell you, but yes. But I do want you to perform, my brother. I want you to come out there and I want you to disrupt the game, be a game disruptor, and show why. Because if you do, then you have the potential to be way more valuable than a Brian Thomas Jr. Because defensive end or edge rushers, they affect the most important position on the field, which is quarterback. So yes, I'm looking forward to how this defensive line show up this season. Also, wide receivers, they should dominate this training camp. With the uncertainties that we have in the secondary, now I know Waddle had the shirts and pads and the underwear Olympics, and they were saying he never looked that good before. This is the best he looked since he donned the Miami Dolphins uniform. But this should be all the receivers. They should Malik Washington, Tyreek, Waddle, y'all should be performing top notch. And these guys got to catch up to y'all speed. Y'all should dominate the training camp. If y'all not, I'm gonna talk it more up to y'all not doing what y'all got to do than this secondary stepping up to the plate. I'm rising to the occasion. I won't put I'm gonna hold my judgment for the secondary until I start seeing the preseason games. Then I have more of a better outlook because we all know for the most part practices they are scripted, so they looking for specific things in certain situations, and they're putting people in situations to where it's going to be game like situations and see how they react. And so a lot of the time to be in bad situations to see how they recover or if they can recognize what assignment they need to do, things of that nature. So I'm not going to judge the secondary until preseason, which is what I will really, really, really evaluate them. But I'm looking forward to seeing how these wide receivers perform. And I want to know how involved are they going to have Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright needs to be heavily involved. And I want them to use Ollie Gordon. I don't want Ollie Gordon to be another guy that just sit a year and he's rarely used. I don't want that to happen this season. I need Ollie Gordon heavily involved as well. He could be a great red zone talk. Can you imagine Jalen Wright and Ollie Gordon in the red zone? That's two physical running styles. I know Jalen Wright brings the speed along with the power, but he brings physicality as well. And we know Ollie Gordon. He's been saying the right thing since he got here. It's gonna be when he look at it, he look at it from is it him or me, and he gonna take him. He said he betting on him every time. I like that mentality. So I want our team and our coaching staff to take full advantage of that physicality and that mindset. Rashad say, if teams are taking away the pass, we need to make them pay. That's a fact, Rashad. Listen, man, we got 38 out in the building. Please hit that like button. If it's your first time over here, hit that subscribe button. You know, it's me today, the team. It's just me and the producer today. We got Jessie on PTO, but she at the game. She popped through, and my boy Lewis on vacation. So y'all don't know how that go. But listen, if this is y'all first time, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. I road to 600. Get the team to 600, man. We would deeply appreciate it. Shout out to my chat. I see y'all rocking in the chat again, like the best chat ever. But yeah. So That's what I'm looking forward to when it comes to training camp. For the most part, we went the rookies, we went regular, the just players in general. But listen. Before I get to Chris Grier, PFF dropped a roster ranking, and they had the Miami Dolphins at 24. What do y'all think about that? Chat, I want to know what y'all think about that, chat. What do y'all think about the Dolphins coming in roster-wise as the 24th best roster? That means they think we're only better than what? 8 teams? That's saying we're only better than 8 teams? Do y'all agree with that? At 24? Now I know me and Lou, we predict us to go 9-8. But I think that's that's a little higher than 24. The 24th ranked roster. I'm not even that far down on this team. It seems as if, I don't know, a lot of teams are off the Miami Dolphins this season. I think they're tired of the talking. I think they're tired of, this team not getting it done when needed to be. I think the people around, the NFL, they're starting to look at this team like a bunch of pretenders. They're no longer considering us contenders. We're pretenders now. That's Miami Dolphins. Listen, we have a great opportunity to prove everyone wrong. It seemed like expectations this season is low. It's low. I must be totally frank. He said more like 15 in my opinion. 15. Mike Best said they hate it, bro. The pressure, listen, it seemed like from the NFL standpoint, there's no pressure to perform this season. It would be the Miami Dolphins to have their best season this year when people are now predicting that them to not do so well. If I was the Miami Dolphins, I'll take that as a slap on the chin. A slap in the face. 24? Yo, 24 is pretty low. I'm not going to, I criticize them, but at 24, I know there's a lot of people that think I saw some people in this fan base think we could lose around 4 to 5 games. I know one of my homeboys, Grumpy, not going to say no name, got a bet out there that we don't win more than 4 games. He don't think we're going to get to 5. So Grumpy, it looked like PFF, at least, they're with you, my brother. They are. To rank the Miami Dolphins roster 24, to me, I'm not going to. That's a little bit disrespectful. That's disrespectful if I can say, listen, if I do say so myself, that's disrespectful. For real. Listen, 43 of y'all in the building, please hit that like button and subscribe. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscription button. Get the channel to 600. We was like 13 away last time. No, actually, we was 11 away. I'm sorry, we was 11. We was 11 away, so we could get those 11 subscribers. Man, that'd be great. Get those 11 subscribers. Triple S say having 5+ games of backup quarterback, backup QB play diminishes your roster evaluation. Well, I get it, right? And we have to understand that, and that's a fair assessment. It is. I can't push back on that. I can't. But God, dog. 24? I agree with you too, Andreas. He said it's weird though because they gave us like 5 primetime games. They don't give those games to teams they think are ass. Confusing. It is. I'm guessing the schedule makers felt like it's must-see TV. Sometimes people, I don't know. Maybe they plan on our downfall and they know the narrative going around is Miami can't win on prime time. Excuse me. So they banking off that. But God, dog. And PFF and The schedule makers, they're not the same people. PFF is their own commodity. They do their own thing. They're their own business. So now I don't think the PFF thinks like the schedule makers. The schedule makers, I don't know. Maybe they think Tua is I don't know. What's up, Crypto? I see you in the building, my brother. Game Boy Theo, I say, hey Tony, fun fact: Lamar Jackson is 1-4 in playoffs when he's throwing for over 25 attempts. That's a great. Is that true? That's a great stat. If that is, then my criticism of him this season is spot on. Because I said when I watched him play in Kansas City, he wanted to prove that he was a pocket passer so bad that he forgot to be himself. There was a lot of plays to be made with his feet, and he refused to do it because he wanted to stand in the pocket and deliver some strikes. When I'm like, you got to win by any means. Jalen Hurts didn't rely on killing people from the pocket. He made a lot of plays with his feet. And then when those plays opened up, he made them when they came to him. But he wasn't worried about teams or people saying that he has to win from the pocket or the lack thereof. Listen, he didn't care. He made the plays. And I think Lamar Jackson had so many plays he left out there in that AFC Championship game that he cost his team. He did that. Even though he had a chance there at the end, but I'm sorry. So, yeah, I do agree with that. I mean, if that assessment is correct, then he needs to be more like himself. Listen, the name of the game is to get the victories. Say what you want to say about Jalen Hurts, but when it comes to big moments and big games, that man shows up. You can't point at a big game that he didn't show up. And it's not all with passing ability. It's with his legs. He let his legs speak for itself. So I'm sorry. Lamar, you should have stuck to your guns, my brother. Make the plays that was there to be made. But yeah, man. That was a great stat though on Game Boy 305. But listen, yeah, they got us to 24. So I don't know. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about that. I think that's a bit disrespectful. Middle of the pack at least. You know, I get it. People don't have no confidence in us. But Jesus, at 24? At 24, that's a top 10 pick. Y'all do know that, right? That's a top 10 pick. Again. So, hey, let's see how the season goes. But last but not least, man, let me get into this topic. Is Chris Grier good enough to not be good enough? Now, where did I get that from? Or what do I mean by that? The thing about that is delusional. I don't know. Hold on. He say, what are the 18 behind us? I'm not sure. You know what? Let me look that up for you real quick. Oh, yeah. We got a poll. Y'all make sure y'all vote on that poll. We got 22 of y'all, 23 now. Y'all make sure y'all vote on that poll. We got a poll in the chat, man. You know what? Let me get those. Oh shucks, my bad. I wasn't checking on my phone, y'all. My bad. Let me see if I could get that to you. Who are the 18 behind us? Let's see. Let me pull up the schedule. I got the list right here. So the 18 behind us are Indianapolis Colts at 25, the Falcons at 26, the Giants at 27, the Titans 28, the Jets 29, Panthers at 30, Browns at 31, and the Saints at 32. Wow. They got the Raiders ranked 23 right above us. The Raiders, Jaguars, Patriots, Seahawks, Bears. Yo, they got the Broncos at 6. I don't know. They believe in Bo Nix like that? No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Nah. This list is disrespectful. Just by me reading that, now this list is very, it just became more disrespectful. I'm sorry. But listen, Chris Grier, is he good enough to not be good enough? Think about this, right? For people like me, my counterpart Lou, we'll come out here and we'll show y'all and tell y'all the good things that Chris Grier have done. Like he has his flaws, and we say GM, they do have their flaws. They do. They're not going to be perfect, right? But sometimes, not sometimes, in order to be a great GM, or at least a above average GM, your good has to outweigh your bad tremendously. It can't just be right there neck and neck. You have to have so much more good to where sometimes you forget about the bad. Now we use John Lynch all the time as a reference to this, as a reference point, because what? Yo, he made a terrible decision, giving up 3 first rounders for Trey Lance. But he hit with Mr. Irrelevant. And everybody forgot about it. Like completely forgot about those 3 first round picks he gave up to get Trey Lance. So no, GMs aren't gonna be perfect. But when it comes to Chris Grier, and I ask a question to everyone, does he have way more goods than he have bad decisions? Let's take a time. Let's take a moment right here to think about that. Does Chris Grier have more goods than he have bad decisions? Right? For me, my number one bad decision that I think he made was extending Tua. To me, that was the worst decision that he's made since he's been here at GM. Right? Great decision. He extended Tua. But if y'all saw the thumbnail, the jury technically is still out on Tua because he still have an opportunity to prove what's wrong. I've always said that I've seen what all I need from Tua, and the consistency isn't there for me. So I'm at a prove it state now. You have to prove me wrong, and he got to be 2 or 3 seasons of proving me wrong, not just one. So the fact of the matter is, that was your biggest flaw. Now, I would say this, and I will ask another question. Has he did anything to negate that wrongdoing that he did? Signing to a contract, extending him, has he did things to negate that? Because signing Tua, right? Essentially, you're saying that's your franchise quarterback. You gave him the extension, knowing how fragile he has been, right? So knowing how fragile he's been, you should have invested more on the offensive line. I would say that, and I'm speaking more from a depth standpoint, but you should have, because of who you chose to extend, right? I'm sorry, but you have to. So I'll say, let's get like, let me get a couple of times, like a couple of names, right? I say he brought in Tyreek Hill. I think that's good. I'm sorry. Tyreek was good. He's been a headache, but as far as the production, he's been good. He's been better than he's been more good than bad. Like he had a lot of big drops in all the big games. He does, right? But that's been a big addition. Right? Drafting Waddle, good. Bringing in Bradley Chubb, I would say good, more good than bad. You know, he hasn't been healthy. So I don't know if that to be good, but I'll lean, towards good. Bringing in T-Stead, it was a good move, but the injuries, right? Hasn't been healthy, but when he was on the field, he's a top corner, he's the top tackle, right? Who else? Calais Campbell. That was a 100% positive. I don't have no negative thing to say about that. Bringing in Zach Sealer. That was really good. What we got out of Zach Sealer when we got him from Baltimore, I'll say that's really good for Chris Grier. But do any of that outweigh the decision that he did to extend Tua? Right? And then now you start looking at some of the draft picks, like, when he drafted I wrote his name down. Channing Tindall. When he drafted Channing Tindall, y'all do know that was his first pick in that draft, right? We didn't have a first or second, so that third rounder was our first pick, and the first pick you chose was Channing Tindall. I think that was a big miss. I think that was a huge miss. That I think Tyndall, Easy E, Cameron Good, and who else was in that draft? I think that's possibly his first draft. Unless we got Jason Sanders in that. Well, that's still, even if we did, that was his first draft. Right? That's terrible. I got you, Triple S. I got that on my notes. Do we count stuff like extending Tyreek? I mean, extending Ramsey? Yes, that's bad. That's on the negative side. Extending Ramsey is on the negative side. So I'm sorry. You extended Ramsey. Another good. I'm sorry. Another good. I'll say Jordan Brooks. I'll put that as good. Drafting Achane. That's good. The production we got at Achane, that's an A+ for me. Right? But now I want to point something out. I had it somewhere. Let me show you something. When he extended to her, we lost Andrew Van Ginkel, Christian Wilkins, Robert Hunt that same year. I'm going to say this again. When he extended to her, we lost Andrew Van Ginkel, Christian Wilkins, and Robert Hunt. Oh, and Brandon Jones. I forgot about Brandon Jones. Van Ginkel, Robert Hunt, Brandon Jones are playing extremely well for their teams, respectfully. Christian Wilkins, nah. Now, granted, I think Robert Hunt wasn't worth that money, $20 million a season. I wasn't going to pay him that. But you know what? If Tua was on that 5th-year option, we at least had the money to pay him. I wasn't paying Christian Wilkins regardless. So I'm going to top that up. But we could have brought back Jones, Van Ginkel, and Hunt, Van Ginkel, and Jones. We could have brought all of them back. You know that, right? I know it's 2020 hindsight, but unfortunately, this is a result-based business. So if you go by the results, and if we're trying to see if Chris Grier good enough, I think good enough to not be good enough fits him perfectly. Because for everything we say you did good, we have probably more bad that we can rebuttal. And this is coming from a guy that's always giving him the benefit of the doubt. All of them. Yeah, I see he say he drafted, he did draft those guys, but they're not here. Right? So that can't count as a plus when you drafted them, but they don't benefit you because they don't serve your team at all. You feel me? Like, think about that. All of the people that I named, yes, he drafted them. That could have been good. But see, like I tell everyone, your job don't stop right there. It doesn't stop once you get the people in the building. You still have to evaluate how do they work together. Do they coexist as a team? Who do you retain? Who do you release? That is all part of the GM job. You have to continue to evaluate. I'm sorry. It don't stop there. If just bringing in talent is where your job stopped, then I'll say he would have done way more. He would be looking way better. Like, he would have did more good than he have did, bad. But unfortunately, just bringing in talent is not where your job stops. So what I'm thinking about is he might be on the verge of, like, did Chris Grier have a run when you were like, man, he was hitting on all cylinders? Like, when he did some good, did he follow it up with something like get in his groove and say, yeah, now he's in his groove. He's making a move. He understands how to build the team and how to move forward with retaining players and who to sign early, who to let go, who works with this team. He's never gotten into that groove. He's always done things to say, man, that team he put together, that he assembled in 2023, I think that was almost a masterclass. I'll be real with you. Because you know what? People forgot he brought in Chase Edmonds, but Mostert did so well that we forgot. Kind of like we forgot about Trey Lance in San Fran. Mostert did so well. Achane panned out the year after that we forgot that he bought. I mean, Achane, 2023. Achane panned out the year after that we forgot that he wasted. Y'all do know Chase Edmonds was making more than all the running backs combined when we brought him in. He was supposed to be our running back. That man was trash. Dropping touchdowns, missing holes, fumbling. That man was horrible. He didn't last a full season. I don't even think he lasted a half season here. Think about that. But he did so well with assembling that roster, and we caught the lead by surprise that we forgot all about he brought in Chase Edmonds. These are facts. Right? So he had the opportunity to continue and get on the groove and say, yeah, every GM is not perfect, but the team that I assembled, the good outweigh the bad till you don't even remember the bad. Unfortunately, it didn't continue that way. Think about that. It didn't continue like that. Listen, 48 of y'all in the building, please. I see Chef Drew in the building. Shout out to Chef Drew. Chef Drew say subscribe, like, share, and donate. Help the channel grow. Help the channel grow. It's 48 of y'all. Please get my likes. I haven't checked my likes. Somebody give me a like check. If we got 48 of y'all, come on, we got to get the likes up. I got confident that y'all had the likes up. But yes, so if we look at it from that standpoint, think about it from looking from do the good outweigh the bad? Man. Now, I didn't mention Jordan Poyer. We'll chalk that as a bad. David Sappington. Appreciate you. I just subscribed. Appreciate you, my brother. Oh, 38 likes, 47 people. All right, that ratio, I like it. Yeah, we could get the rest of them up there. But I'll take that ratio. I told y'all I got confidence in the chat. You see how much I had confidence in y'all? And again, David Sappington, appreciate you for subscribing, my brother. Welcome to the family. Welcome. It's 8 away from 600. 8 away, y'all. We just 8 away from 600. Y'all get the channel to 600. So yeah, like I was saying, I didn't bring in Jordan Poyer. You know, I didn't mention him. Marcus May. I didn't mention Marcus May. Byron Jones. What are we saying about Byron Jones? Was that a hit or miss? Can't really say. When he played well. It wasn't about the interceptions with him. It was about the not allowing the completions and shutting down one side. But what Byron Jones a miss? The way it ended was terrible. We forgot that Byron Jones was one of the top rated cornerbacks even when he played for us. But the way it ended, you forgot. It's like the inverse of what they did with Edmonds. We forgot how bad Edmonds was because how good Achane and Mostert performed. But the way Byron Jones ended, we forgot he was pretty damn good when he played for us. I'm just saying. Like, he's done a lot of good things. He has. But do the good outweigh the bad? I mean, if you see the thumbnails, I put some of the draft, like, you know, he hit on 18, he hit on Waddle. Austin Jackson is still the question mark. We don't know. You know, Robert Hunt and he's gone, but that would have been a hit. I think Brandon Jones would have been a hit as well. Noah Igbenati, that was a miss, right? Crypto said X ended bad too. Facts. He bought in Xavier Howard. Xavier Howard was an all-pro for us. He bought in Minka Fitzpatrick. Minka Fitzpatrick became an all-pro when he left. Now he's back. But, bro, we don't have no consistency. I think that's the common thing with this team. No one is consistent. Quarterback isn't consistent enough. Chris Grier isn't consistent enough. Our head coach isn't consistent enough. Is there any type of consistency anywhere? I think the one constant is that they're not going to be consistent. Triple S said X is a hit. Good outweigh the bad. I'll give you that. I'll give X as a hit. It ended terribly though. It was a horrible way it ended. So I'm just like, when we talk about foundational pieces, how many foundational pieces do we have on this team? Think about it. What is our foundation? Can anybody tell me what's the foundation? Do y'all think two is a foundation? Shake Money, that's a fact. They consistently disappoint us. Somebody tell me, explain to me what is our foundation. Y'all think Chop is a foundational piece? Possibly. Are we going to re-sign him? Rashad say, Zach, that's it. I'll take Zach. Zach is getting a little long in the tooth, though. It's crazy that we have to ask these questions about our foundational pieces. And this is what happened, right? So when y'all come on our channel, y'all see and we critique the Tuas of the world. We critique the Jalen Ramseys of the world, the Jalen Phillips of the world, the Tyreek when he dropping passes of the world. When we critique them, y'all think we giving Chris Grier a pass. No, we not. It's just we didn't get to him yet. I'm here now, though. I must be totally frank. Our foundation pieces is always injured. So you can't, is that a foundation? You can't build on injured. That's like building on a block that's not cemented. It's not fully dry. It's going to cave. Injury foundation is wild. That's a fact. So we got to look at it from that standpoint. How are we going to be a consistently good team, consistently be in the playoffs, and consistently make Super Bowl runs, but we don't have no consistency in the building? Think about from that standpoint. See, when you step back and you evaluate your team objectively, you don't have any problems pointing out the flaws, pointing out areas where they could get better and they could improve upon. See, now I've always given Chris Grier credit for the things that he's done correct, the things that he's done right. Building listen, that 2023 team, great. That 2016 team, listen, we didn't win a Super Bowl, but I enjoy watching that team. Jay and Jai and the boys, I enjoy watching that team. That was a physical mindset team. I must be totally frank. Start at the top with Ross. Yes. For sure, Ross as well. Mudbone said, what our franchise call foundational and what Super Bowl teams call foundationals are different. That might be a fact too, Mudbone. That might be a fact. But the thing about it is, he does good at doing things till we keep on giving him passes for his failures and his flaws. But what I'm here to tell y'all is we have to understand and learn how to evaluate this team to the full extent. That means Christopher Grier. That means, well, we can't do nothing about Stephen Ross. Brendan Shure and Tom Garfinkel, we pretty much can't do nothing about them because they Ross's guys. But I think if you get someone in here that knows what he's doing, when Chris Grier came out and said he deferred a lot more than he would have liked, and all he had to do was put his foot down, that gave me more confidence that someone can come in here as a GM that has some cachet and say, listen, I'm running this way. Get out my way and let me do my thing. You just have to be that type of person. And then we can change this franchise around. The name of the game is to be a consistent playoff team. I broke it down a few episodes ago. What you notice with the team that wins Super Bowl is that they're consistently in the playoffs. They don't have long droughts where they go without playoff victories or without making the playoffs. Those teams are in the playoffs year in, year out. They might be out a year or two, take some time, come back, and boom, right back to where we were. Back to being a consistent playoff team. Because, again, the best team doesn't always win. It's the team that seems to be clicking on all cylinders at the right time and the healthiest. Injuries are going to happen. They are. So if you have your opportunity to be in the playoffs, forget about being lucky. You just got to be ready for your opportunity. I'm sorry. You have to be prepared. You have to be one of them teams that's consistently in the playoffs. So when any of them teams that may be better than you, may have a better roster than you, when they're slipping or they're in a bad day or they just so happen to sustain a whole bunch of injuries, i.e. like what Detroit did, Washington went and took full advantage of that. So if you constantly in the playoffs, then you have just that much higher of a percentage of taking advantage of your window or other teams not being at their best or at their peak. Sometimes it happens that way. But you have to be in the dance to be able to take advantage of those type of situations. I don't want to see a bunch of talented people on a team, but they can't get it together. As a GM, that's your job to say, well, this is a lot of talent, but that talent does not coexist well. That talent is not meshing. That talent did not come together as a team and move as a unit. That is a part of your evaluation as a GM. It's evaluating the parts you put together. Are they getting the job done the way I envision it to be? And if the answer is no, then what move do you have to make? What changes are needed? It's always like your job never stops. That's from coaching staff to players. You don't just stop there. And don't get me wrong, right? Because I said consistency, right? But trust me, you don't want to have consistency with a bad coach either, right? Or a bad quarterback or a bad leader. So trust me, I don't want consistency to be the only thing that we think about, because don't be afraid to get rid of the people that cannot be consistently good, that you don't benefit off consistently. Don't just say, well, you got a quarterback, he keep him there. Oh, well, you got a coach, he did pretty well, just keep him in the building. No. Sometimes you make that little tweak, like, okay, let's move this little chess piece and put this one, boom. That was the missing piece. That was the key ingredient, what we were missing for this team to run like a well-oiled machine. Go back to Golden State when Mark Jackson was coaching. He had David Lee in the starting lineup. In come Steve Kerr, take David Lee out of the starting lineup and put in Draymond Green. They become a dynasty after that. That little one tweak, that little chess piece, that little chess move. You got to understand, football is a game of inches. And no, we don't expect you to be perfect, but we do expect you to understand what you're doing and get as close to perfect as you can and learn from your mistakes. Do not harper on your mistakes. The thing about it is once you make a mistake, you have to eliminate that. Eliminate it. I'm sorry. Don't be afraid to move on. You got to be consistently behind the scenes, making moves, thinking of the best play, thinking of is this how well this guy worked for us. Think about down the lines. Okay, is he gonna cost us this money? Should we lock him in now, or is the jury still out? Tony, you are preaching. Tony H, you are preaching the word. Appreciate you, Linda. Appreciate you. This is what you call team building 101 and understanding. Winning. We want a winning culture. So when you get a winning, I'll give y'all another example. We can always use the Patriots, right? The Patriots had a winning culture. You know what's consistent? Bill Belichick defense and Tom Brady. Everything else, exchangeable. You can move them out. That's what they were doing. You're not indisposable. Everyone was disposable. There was no one irreplaceable. They moved off of Ty Law. They had Ty Law, Lori Malloy. They had Asante Samuel. They had all them. They had Darrell Reeves. They brought in some pieces. Well, they gone and come Malcolm Button in the boys. I'm sorry. They went from Antoine Smith, Kevin Falk and the boys. They brought in LeGarrette Blunt. You know, who else they had? Corey Dillon, right? They never stopped. They found foundation. That's what when you have a foundation, right? They found some foundational pieces, right? Tom Brady, Teddy Bruschi, Richard Seymour, Willie McGinnis, built around them. One more, I'm missing one. Mike Vrabel. They built around them. Keep that core group together. You got Tom Brady on offense. Keep him a good line, offensive line, and everyone else. Man, he won championship with David Patton at wide receiver. What's the little short dude? Deion Branch at wide receiver, right? Wes Welker. Did he win with Wes Welker? I don't think he won with Wes Welker. Maybe he did. With Wes Welker. But Julian Edelman, they had Gronk, my bad, another foundational piece, Gronk. But they got them a nice foundation, and then they kept on tweaking it. Adam Vinatieri, they didn't build around him, though. But yes, he was another foundational piece. And that was it. You know, you're going to come in there and you're going to get some hard-nosed, tough coaching. You dealt with it because the foundational pieces that was in that franchise was worth it. And you know, for the most part, you were going to get to a Super Bowl. You were going to become a champion when you leave that building. So, yes, this is what I'm talking about with not being complacent, right? And don't just use consistency as say, oh, keep someone. No. You get you a foundation, and there's always interchangeable pieces, moving pieces here and there. You make a mistake here, okay, we made a mistake there. And a key, you know what? Don't forget, I told you they still brought in what? Quarterbacks. Y'all remember when Tom Brady went down? They didn't make the playoff that year, but they went 11-5 with Matt Castle. They went 11-5 with their backup quarterback. I just want y'all to realize this. Because that foundation, and that goes to show you Sometimes that quarterback is just that one extra thing to get you over the hump. But you need to have a nice, firm foundation to build a consistent winner. Now, they also made the playoffs with Matt Jones after Tom Brady. Now, dealing with that hard, tough-nosed coaching, it wasn't working anymore because you ain't had that guy that was going to lead you to the promised land. You see the difference, y'all? Shake Money say they drafted 9 quarterbacks while Tom Brady was there. 9. Trenches. I forgot about Big Vince Wilford, another foundational piece on that defensive line, that D tackle. Just go back and look at that team. Once they got their foundation, they built around it. So all them James White, I forgot James White, Sony Michel, running back, interchangeable. Think about this, man. Danny Woodhead. Think about the way they built that team. And then you understand when we come from a GM understanding that your job is never done. Imagine if he got complacent because he had Tom Brady. You know what? You know what drafting them? Jimmy Garoppolo's and Matt Castles of the world, Jacoby Brissett's and all those people that piss Tom Brady off. Yo, ain't none of these dudes better than me. You don't need them. I remember him and Belichick got into it about that Jimmy Garoppolo pick. That was the beginning of the downfall. But they still invested in him. So we got to understand. They say that's the problem, T. A lot of fans just want to win one playoff game. A lot actually want consistent year in and year out contenders. Yeah. I want a consistent winner year in and year out. One playoff game, that's desperation for people. I'm not a desperate fan. I know one playoff game doesn't. We won a playoff game in 2016, also in 2008, also in 2012, I think. I mean, not one. I'm sorry. We went to a playoff game. 2012, I think it was. I forgot when was the last one went on. Was it? Or was it? No, it wasn't 06. Wasn't 06. It might have been 2022. 2022 was the last time we won a playoff game. Or the 2000, one of them. 2000, was it? Was it 2000? Lamar Smith. Lamar Smith, let me look it up. I think it was, thank you, 2000. Yeah, we lost. Lamar Smith won in double overtime. That was our last playoff victory against the Indianapolis Colts. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they was in our division still around that time. 2000, y'all. The last playoff victory. That wasn't good enough for me. I saw it. I witnessed it. But it wasn't good enough for me. And that's what I'm saying, to think about the mindset when it comes to when we evaluate everyone on this team. I'm on Chris Grier right now because I don't think bring back PFF Tony. Players mess up too, man. Oh man, that's a fact. But yes, when it comes to evaluating a team and when it comes down building a consistent winner, you got to understand you can't be complacent at any position. That is a fact. He said, not on that. All right, cool. That is a fact. I got to say, you're doing a great job yourself, Tony. Appreciate you, Kevin Curse. Appreciate you, my brother. No, Tony Two Flats good where he at. Bring back Jay Fiedler, crypto. Stop that, bro. You got to stop it. But listen, like I was saying, this is basically trying to evaluate. Well, at least not trying to. I'm evaluating Chris Grier and understanding all the moves that he made. Albeit he had a lot of great moves that he did, a lot of great additions and acquisitions. But the negatives, they are too much. They're neck and neck to where you can't just say that he's good enough to build a consistent winner. You can't, because this is when I believe me and when Lou up here we separate. See, when I could blame Tua for not getting it done, I could blame Tyreek for dropping passes and acting a fool. I could blame Mike McDaniel for not being man enough to stand firm, right, and demand his respect in the locker room. I could blame them, but I also understand that overall, the GM have to understand that too to get them out the building. They not walking out by themselves. Chris Grier, you got to look and say, hey, listen. And that's what I say, do not harp on your mistakes. Get rid of them. This not working. Bro, that should have been, the fact that we found out that Mike McDaniel had to go over his head to get to a pay, no, it would have been him or me. At that moment, that would have been him or me. You signing him, I'm out. I'm not going to let that's not going to be on my dime. Albeit we understand people could say what they want about, him being, I guess, handcuffed or whatever. I think it's El Cap. Shout out El Cap in the building. Question, Tony. Is GM responsible for player mentality? No. He's not responsible for the player mentality, but he is responsible for understanding he need people in this building that have dog-like mentality. He is responsible for that. Because we could say we want dogs and it's all on the players to set the culture. If your GM don't have them people in the building, they're never going to be here. He has to understand you need them people. So when you have players coming to complain to you and saying, oh, he's not talking nice, shut up and go play ball. What do you mean? Go get on the field. Somebody say he's scared of dogs. I don't know. I don't know if he's scared of dogs. I wouldn't say he's scared of dogs because he bring him in, but isn't he beholden to the head coach? Mm-hmm. That's what I say. That's part of his evaluation. Part of the evaluation is to understand if your coach is not tough enough, you have to understand that. Now, I'm sorry, but man, we had Brian Flores in the building. Don't tell me he's afraid of dogs. And that was his choice. We understand Mike McDaniel wasn't. At least initially, that wasn't his choice. Sad to say, but Brian Flores might have been right about the mentality of this team, at least. Got to let dogs be dogs. Did you see Ward video with him and Titan D tackle? No, I didn't. I did not. I'd rather have Flo right now and no GM. I know Grier. But yeah, listen. Mindset, people. Mindset is not only for players. Now, you need your player to have that mindset. I'm sorry to tell you, though. If your GM don't keep those players with that mindset in the building, how are you going to develop that culture? How? That culture, I don't care what your coach do. I don't care what your GM do. They cannot make people that's not like that, like that. They can't make them into dogs. You can't. That's why I stand firm on player-set culture. But you as a GM and a coach, you need to understand and let them do what they do. That's what you need in the locker room. That's the type of player you build around. Because he's not going to accept mediocrity. Appreciate you, Dave. He's not going to accept it. He gonna demand greatness. He gonna demand toughness. You get 3, 4, 5, at least 8 of them type of players with that mentality. Now you working. Now we got something to cook with. You got people in the building that is just not going to accept anything. Especially like Billy Batson say, dogs on defense, especially on defense. I just want y'all to understand that. Now, Chris Grier, you made some good moves, but the move that get you over the top, that say, yes, that's a GM that we could build around, it's understanding when it's not all about just talented, the fastest running player. It's mentality plays a big part in championships. Chris Herrera, shout out to you, Tony. Even though I'm a Patriots fan, I still mess with your content, you and TD. Shout out to you, my brother. And shout out to TD. I got to hit TD up. He did tell me to hit him up. Yeah, we might have to get some going. He told me to hit him up. So, hey, shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. And if TD sent you, man, tell him I appreciate that too. Grier been GM since 2016. It's 2025. We got puppies, no big dogs. That's what I'm saying, Cap for Life. This is all about evaluating his job. Is he good enough to not be good enough? We got to have those hard conversations. Almost got those. I got a question. Can our GM coach change his own title, or does he need Triple A? He say, I'm in agreement with you, Tony, but here's the issue with blaming Grier. He seems to have both hands tied behind his back. Ownership and marketing want profits. Coaching wants their guys. You know what, Cap? That's why I said when they came with that decision, it would have been him or me. In order to have a dog-like mentality, you have to be able to stand firm. Saying my hands tied behind my back do no good for me as a fan. Right? All we doing is giving excuses. So I thought we were done with excuses. So when I look at it from that standpoint, okay, they got your hands tied behind your back. They don't accept that. Don't accept it. I don't want to take a job, and I'm not going to be in a position when I can't do what I think is best for this team. You're going to judge me based on my mistakes or my moves and my whatever my decisions are. That's what I want to be judged on, not by me being the good boys club, good old boys club. So unfortunately, that's when I think you should stand. And you know what? I said this once he came out and said that he deferred more than he would like. Then that means you could have stood firm a little sooner. I'm sorry. That means you could have been still firm. You could have been stood on your principles and say, no, we're going this way. And because that's my final decision. And now I'll be held responsible for these moves. I'm quite sure playing on that fifth-year option, Tua goes down in week 2, he looked like a genius to Chris Ross. I mean, Stephen Ross. He could look up here and say, yeah, that's why I was hesitant. That's why I was giving so much pushback. I'm quite sure he would have looked like a genius if he would have did that. Getting a fifth or sixth rounder, whatever they was giving us for Calais Campbell, knowing that the season was all gone last season and have that extra draft capital, he would have looked like a genius to say, yeah, Ross, that's why you make those moves. That's what I'm saying. The good outweigh the bad. He's just good enough to not be good enough. You know what? That falls in the line. Accepting your hands tied behind your back. That means you just doing enough to get along and get by. That's not how championship teams are ran. Somebody has to stand firm, and it starts at the top. One thing I respect about Flores is he looked them in the eyes and said, you want to know what the one consistent when this team failures of this franchise? Y'all two. He's still firm. And for the most people, for the most point, most of us that wants a winning franchise, we would prefer for Flo to be still in the building. Because you understand that man stood for principles. Now, did he go about in the right way? No, not even in the slightest. He didn't. I would never say he was right the way he went by it, but I would never, ever hate on the fact that he stood on principles. Now, those principles caused us Joe Burrow, but the man stood for something. But look at it. You could win the Super Bowl without Joe Burrow. We could have got over that. Tough nose. Hard fought defense. I'm telling you. Last one before I get out of here. I'm in agreement with you and Floyd was the last guy to stay infirm. And they ran his ass up out of here. And I don't know how to fix that shit. Guess what? You make them, they'll have to run everyone up. Hey, Vic Fangio still firm. They got him up out of it. But guess what? He won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl. So he was proving them wrong. I'm sorry. But listen, it's still 38 of y'all in the building. Listen, if y'all haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Listen, get the channel to 600. Man, we come to work every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Y'all know what kind of content y'all getting. Y'all do understand that we give 100% honesty. We look at this team objectively because we want what's best for the team. And sometimes you got to tell the hard truths. It's not easy. It's not what you want to hear. It's not the whisper, the sweet nothings in your ear. But we are going to tell you and stand firm and be like, hey, listen, understand. Sometimes you gotta tell the hard truth. The truth hurt. But that's why you got to be willing to deal with it. You get me? But appreciate y'all for coming in, rocking with your boy. Lewis always say bang, bang. Y'all know what to put in the chat. This would be Lewis. Bang, 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 bang. I'm more like this. So before I get out of here, I'm gonna let Mike Breen talk to y'all. Y'all know what to put in the chat. Y'all know what to put in the chat. Y'all put them bangs in the chat. I'm gonna end it like this. And I'm out.